Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today we are continuing the book Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, chapter 6, The Man with the Twisted Lip. So this is chapter 6, part 1. So let's start. Isa Whitney was a brother of the late Elias Whitney and my patient. He had a serious problem of opium addiction. He acquired the addiction from some foolish friend when he was in college. Like so many others, he found it was quite easy to get into but almost impossible to get out. And he had spent many years being a slave to the drug. Speaking about him, I can see his face in front of my eyes, yellow, pasty, and drooping, the remains of what was once a noble man. It was warm night in June of 1986 when someone rang my doorbell. It was quite late and I had a very long day. My wife told me it must be a patient of mine and that I should attend to the person. Our servant had already let the person in. It was a lady wearing a dark colored garment and a black veil. Please do excuse me for visiting so late, she said, and and then bursting into tears, she ran to my wife and threw her arms around her neck and wept on her shoulder. I am in such a trouble and I need a little help. Could you please help me? She cried. My wife lifted the veil. It was Kate Whitney, wife of Isa Whitney, and my wife's childhood friend. Kate said she did not know who to contact and hence she came running to my wife. This was the way things were. People came to my people came to my wife when they were in grief, like birds to go to a lighthouse. My wife offered Kate some wine and water and asked her if she was comfortable talking in front of me or would she rather have me go to bed. Oh no, I want the doctor's counsel and his help too. It's about Isa. He had not returned home in 2 days. I am very worried and scared for him, she said. However, Kate knew where her husband was. She was quite sure that she knew the place her husband was frequently visiting recently. He visited an opium den in the city whenever he wanted a fix, but so far his activities had been limited to a day. I understood Kate wanted me to go find him. As it was not a place for ladies to go, but this time he had been gone for 2 days and his wife was worried that he might be somewhere in the docks taking the drug. She told that he could be found at the Bar of Gold in Upper Swandam Lane. Though she knew where he was, it was not possible for a woman like her to go and fetch him. There was one way out of it. I dressed and went to the address. I was Isa's medical advisor and had both influence and authority over him. It is better that I went alone. I promised the lady that I would send him home in a cab. Within 2 hours, if at all, he was found at the given address. Within 10 minutes, I had left my armchair and the comfort of my home to go on a strange adventure. Upper Swandam Lane was a wild area. I found the opium den and told my cab driver to wait for me. I passed down the steps and entered a room. The room was full of thick and heavy opium smoke. In the dim light, I saw thick and heavy opium smoke. In the dim light, I saw bodies lying in strange positions, bowed shoulders, bent knees, and heads thrown back. I could see a little red circles of the light as the burning poison lit the bowls of the metal pipes. Some of them lay silent while others muttered to themselves. I looked around and there I found Isa. He was quite drowned in opium and was unaware that 2 days had passed since he stepped in this place. We were about to leave when an old man pulled at my leg. "Walk past me and don't look back," he said. I did as was told and almost shouted with amazement. It was Sherlock Holmes. It was Sherlock Holmes. I whispered. What are you doing here in this? What are you doing in a place such as this? Speak as low as you can, Watson. I have excellent hearing. Get rid of that friend of yours. Send him home in a cab. And also send a note to your wife saying that you are coming with me. Meet me at the end of the street in 5 minutes, he said. It was not easy to deny requests that my friend Sherlock Holmes presented. His request always led me to some sort of exceedingly rare adventure. I did not wish anything more than being with Sherlock on one of his great journeys. In a matter of minutes, I had written my note, led Isa Whitney into the cab and sent him home. Then I walked to the end of the street and waited for Sherlock. After about 5 minutes, Sherlock emerged from the opium den, still half in disguise. His face was now clean, but he walked with a limp foot and bent back. For 2 streets he walked this way. Then he looked around to see if anyone had followed him, and then laughed heartily. "I hope, Watson," said he, "that you are not thinking that I have added opium addiction to my smoking habits and other little weaknesses that you have so often lectured." So this is Sherlock Holmes in a disguise. Lectured me about. It was definitely a surprise to see you there, I said. "Probably not more than my surprise on seeing you there," he replied. "I came to find a friend, and I was there to find an enemy." Sherlock told me he was looking there for clues. He was looking to find answers in the ramblings of those who were high on opium. He was looking for one Neville St. Clair, who he feared had entered the establishment, but might not have left it. There was a wharf behind the establishment, which, according to Sherlock, had seen many dead bodies, and recently might have carried the body to the man he was searching for. Sherlock asked me to accompany him to the Cedars. It was the house that was owned by Neville St. Clair. His wife was the one who had hired Sherlock to find him, and had generously offered him double-bedded room. Sherlock guided me to the carriage and was waiting, and asked the driver to leave. We were going to Kent and had a 7-mile journey ahead of us. For most of the journey, we rode in silence. "You have a remarkable gift of silence, Watson," Sherlock said. "It makes your company very much valuable to me. But it is also nice to have someone to talk to when my own thoughts are not too pleasant." So that's it for part 1 for the chapter 6, The Man with the Twisted Lip. So I'll see you in the next video of Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. See you in the next video. Bye.